Welcome to the Just for Show show. This episode is about the videographer, Dave Dennison, a long-time mainstay in the Twin Cities videography realm. He has a very long history in videographizing. He basically made the video for Just for Show. David is just a fine young gentleman. No, it's okay. No, not for you. David is a fine gentleman, a lover of music, a lover of people, and a lover of dogs. No. We'll get to know David as Ted Hachinowski interviews him. And I think you'll love him as we do. And with that, the Just for Show show.
He wasn't much to look at, but he had a heart of gold. He'd give the shirt off his back just to keep you from being cold. He didn't live perfect, but he tried to live right. He gave up his pride just to end the fight.
Make sure I don't tip this thing over. Dave Dennison,
Ted!
my friend, how are you?
Great. I'm not even going to try to say your name. I know how to pronounce it, but I don't want to say it on camera. I'll mess it up for sure.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure.
Heineshevitz. That's
There
it.
you go. You got it.
Great.
Better than I can say it. Well, first of all, what's on your hat?
That is Dangerous Man. Oops.
Yep.
Boy, now I know what a weather person feels
Isn't
like.
it screwy? Like I keep doing this and I find myself like kind of trying to adjust and I get out of the camera.
Yeah.
And
Dangerous Man, great brewery in Minneapolis. And so this episode is brought to you by Dangerous Man.
and we'll get money from them.
This is not Dangerous Man. This is Surly.
And we'll get money from them.
And then, of course, Anytime Fitness is also in on this.
And you'll get a discount on your membership.
Right. I don't have a membership, but
Well, I mean, they'll still give you the discount.
it will.
You have to sign up to get it. So see how that's how they work.
See how that works.
I'd like you to tell us about your career. Last time we talked, you were talking about all these tapes that you have.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you've done, because you've done everything for...
I started out at UW Eau Claire. I was a music major, actually, at UW Eau Claire in Wisconsin. And I was already getting some hearing loss while I was in some of the ensembles and the groups there. My plan was to be a music educator. I wanted to be a band director, but with the hearing loss, I thought, well, I'm not going to hear that kid in the back row that on tuba that's screwing around calling me names behind my back, so
Right.
I kind of wanted to get into something else. And so last couple of years of my college career, I got a journalism degree. And part of that journalism degree I liked the most was photography, and I wanted to be a news photographer, so a video news photographer. So for 17 years, I was a television photojournalist. I worked all over the country. I worked in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Rock Island, Illinois, Moline, Illinois, Phoenix, Arizona, and then I came from Phoenix. I came back here in 1993 and worked at KARE 11. And I wound up eventually being the director of photography at KARE 11, and which was my dream job, but it wound up being my worst nightmare because I had to manage 50 people.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of took and love out of what I was doing. It was not a great experience. So I turned around and went freelance, and I've been freelance now since 1999. So I've worked for Food Network, Home and Garden TV, Dayline NBC, these kinds of things. But I'm freshly retired now, but I'm still dabbling. And part of the dabbling is sometimes to do bring the music back into, I originally studied music, so now I'm bringing the music into my photography and doing a few music videos and things like that. And so that's kind of how that all.
Yeah, you've done a few videos. Sarah's, right?
Yeah.
You did Doug Collins. Didn't you do his?
Yes, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Doug Collins' video.
Conversation with My Heart.
Yes. So you got to see that just for the heart suit, because I got the heart suit online, and I'm very proud of myself that I got that.
You found it?
Huh? Yeah. Well, of course, I had to test it first, so I put myself on social media wearing this full heart suit and completely make a fool of myself.
Oh, that's great.
So there's that, and there's Sarah's All Mine video. There's another one called I'm Sinking In by a woman named Ann Deming, who's fantastic. Okay. I've done a couple things for Ben Lubeck with Farewell Milwaukee. And it's fun. And we're doing something together.
We are. Yeah. Well, first of all, we should talk a little bit about at the Rieder, you've done a couple sessions where you just have musicians come in, right?
Yeah.
And just do live, like film them live and have somebody mix it.
Chance to plug a couple things. Yeah, I did. I have something going that I haven't really messed with for a while, but I'm going to start getting back on this horse. But it's called the Homestead Sessions, and it's actually on YouTube. So if you Google the Homestead Sessions, you see a red barn, a bunch of songwriters. That's the series that. Yeah.
And I'll post a link.
Okay, great.
With the show when this airs, because I was on it. I got to do it.
Yeah.
And I got to be the clapper boy for one day.
Oh, that sounds dirty.
I know. I was Dave's clapper.
Yeah. Well, that means Ted's trying to say he was assigned to clap the I don't know if I have it here. No, I don't have it here. The little thing that you see in movies to sync up.
I got to do that, and anybody who's never got to do that, that's a bucket list thing for everybody. Even if they don't know it is. Everybody wants to do it.
You're easily amused.
Yeah, and we spent the whole day listening to amazing music.
Yeah, and these were all songwriters that played and performed at the Rieder Homestead, and that which leads me to my next plug.
Yeah,
this all started with those started with the concert series we have at the Rieder Homestead. It was the 1885 something barn that was kitty corner from my house in Delano, and it's my neighbor's barn, and I used it as a video set for a couple of videos, one with Ben Lubeck and one with Ann Deming, and we thought, well, how can we pay you? Well, you can come and play a concert for us and round up the neighborhood, and we'll do a concert in this little barn. And it took off, and people just loves it. Now we have like 1,000 subscribers to our email list, and we do indoor shows throughout the year and outdoor shows in the summer. And so we built a big stage outside, and it's just fantastic. It's so much fun. But now, we've been on hiatus for almost a year, and we also have to do some due diligence with the city of Delano to make sure we're following the regulations and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I live out by you, so I've been to a couple of shows. I wish I could get to more, but it is literally the best place to watch a show. It's you're there to watch a show, that you're not there to. I mean, we get time to socialize, but we're there for the music, and everybody is.
I agree. I'm spoiled after. I think the sound is the best. I think the vibe is the best in that room, and the artists will tell you the same thing. And my only goal is that everybody in that room, including the artists and audience, have the best time of their lives. And it's rare that doesn't happen. I will say also that I start every show being kind of a party pooper. I start every show by standing up there in front of everybody and saying, please don't talk during the show. I just want to that laid out ahead of time, because I really get frustrated when I go to a place and people are talking over music that is meant to be listened to. It's one thing if you're listening to covers in a bar and the expectation isn't there.
Yep.
But a listening room like that, or like the Warming House in Minneapolis,
Mhm.
great listening room, and a few other places. It's just the expectation is that you are there to listen.
Yep.
So,
it's a wonderful time. If you haven't been, when things open up again and they can do a show, it's a place to see a show in Minnesota.
I don't know if you can post my email address or not. But.
I'm not sure I want to, because I don't want to be the one responsible for stalkers.
Oh.
Oh yeah, but we could do the Rieder one. Yes, I think we could do the Rieder one if people want to sign up for the mailing list, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's all private. Everybody is in kind of the club,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. So, people just don't walk in off the street and go to the shows. You've got to get reservations for it.
Yes.
And to do that, it's all through email.
Everybody's excited to come. There's always a wait list.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. And if you come once, you'll understand and you'll come again for sure.
Yeah. Usually people come up to me after the show and they're like, "Oh, we've heard so much about this, but now we're not going to miss it."
Do you know if there's going to be, when it does open, will there be a smaller, because the room pre-COVID, what was it, 70, 90?
Yeah, we would pack people in right on top of each other. It would be like 70 people. 70. That was max. I mean, that was pretty tight. But we'd have shows that might be that tight. And for a couple of reasons, fire code and things like that, we're gonna reduce it to 49.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask people to come up to donate a little more for the shows. We figure just a little bit more will cover that difference, and it'll be more comfortable. Because it got a little uncomfortable in there, but sometimes. But then again, that's an intimate show, and there was an energy in that room having all those people. And I think this will be actually a better experience in the future. We got to get past COVID for sure.
Yeah.
Summer and fall, we hope to do some outdoor shows, but right now I'm not sure about indoor shows. We really know. I have a couple booked in the fall, late fall, that we probably won't be able to do outside. So we're hoping that we've got herd immunity and we can come in and feel safe doing so. But we'll see.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be waiting. Playing all the time. I try to get to shows as much as I can, but I probably don't get to as many as I would like to. And it's funny because the Rieder is right in my backyard, practically. It's 10 minutes away. And yet you still don't get to enough shows. I think I took that for granted a lot.
Yeah.
And,
well, still have musicians, you're busy doing your music and it's hard to get to a show.
I know. But the thing is, I wouldn't be doing music if it wasn't for another musician, right? I didn't just pick up a guitar and say, "Hey, I want to do this." I heard someone else play and went, "I want to do that." I still enjoy listening to other people's stuff and seeing them play, and especially a place like that. There's a magic to that you could have 5 people and I think it would still be magical. Maybe 10. Yeah.
Just can't wait till we start again.
Yeah.
All the venues. I can't wait to go to First Avenue again. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Art Turf Club again. This is just killing me.
Right. It's been a long run.
At some point, people just have to brave it up. I mean, I've been really, really careful. I've really been a believer in taking all the precautions. But at some point, late fall, next winter, you got to find a way, to get in, get those venues going again. And, but I'm amazed they are hanging in there. Many of them are still hanging in there, waiting for that day they can open again.
I don't know how much funding was actually, the whole Save the Stages thing was a really cool thing that not only was there like private funding, but they actually got government assistance and things like that. And so that's been a nice thing. And there are going to be a lot of casualties, a lot of venues that can't stay,
I bought some Save Our Stages merchandise. I should have worn it tonight. I had a sweatshirt and hat. And that money went to the Save Our Stages effort. I also bought a bunch of stuff from First Avenue. Bought some of their stuff. I try to buy artist stuff. You've got to buy their stuff now. This is if there's ever a time to pay for music as opposed to just streaming it.
Right. Like, that's a great point, Dave.
Make sure you buy Ted's album.
I shouldn't argue with you. Yeah, buy my album. But there are a lot of people who we have friends who like this is their job, and they were out of work.
Yeah,
And I think they're still trying to figure out all that.
and I think everybody's getting a little burned out on streaming.
Yep.
You know, it's just a bad replacement for the real thing, but I'm there with it just to support it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, if you care, if you want to see the artists at the venues after this is all over, you gotta support them now. You know, really.
Yep. So let's talk about the video. The video.
Yeah. Whose idea was this?
You and I have talked about
Your
this
idea.
for a couple of years, right? I probably harassed you and said, Dave, can you make a video? Can you make a video? And
Well, no, I offer.
you did. You're such a kind soul.
Yeah.
But the concept, I think, was it stemmed from you because the words you said were something that would get people to know you, and from there, that's immediately why I landed on Just for Show because this song is about me and my wife, and I like dumb, funny, goofy things, so that's kind of where we're going with little shticky pieces. You know, when you see it, you'll be amazed. It's the greatest cinematic thing in the 21st century. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least in the spirit of things, I'm trying to get the Ted H.
The
mustache.
patch? Yeah. You got it. I like it.
Got a ways to go. I'm 62 years old and I'm still working through puberty. It's terrible.
Well, I don't know how people do the facial hair. Honestly, it starts to itch.
That's a great mustache, man. That is the best mustache.
It works, but it's
awesome.
There's food gets caught in it. And I'm not at that point in my life yet. Maybe I will be in a few years. I don't know where I don't care about the food. Yeah, that would bug me. Maybe
try not to miss your mouth.
Or do this.
Yeah. Put some tape over it.
Right. So because we haven't filmed the film yet, we haven't filmed the video yet, but we have to talk like we did because by the time this airs, we will probably have filmed the video.
It's going to be in the video. Are you editing this part out, or are you actually?
That's a good point. I mean, we probably could put some footage in, or we could just make things up. Like the time when I had the big temper tantrum, and because my wife was in the video, and it threatened our marriage, and she was crying and stormed off, and she
used to deal with divas, Ted, so
yeah.
Okay.
When my trailer, because we're doing this on a lake, a frozen lake, but the trailer went through the ice. That was embarrassing and expensive. I think I blew the budget for this video in the first week and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm making, and we were supposed to film it in 7 hours, and it's been now 3 weeks, and we're almost done.
Don't laugh. That's.
We'll be doing it in hip waders in the water instead of on the water. Yeah.
But well, I don't want to change the subject, but you should. Sometime you should do a little promotion on your name. You should pound into people's heads how to pronounce your name. There's this one artist that I can't pronounce his name, but it's like Schletleka or something like that.
Yes.
And he has all his fans and friends on video like this try to pronounce his name, and everybody fails miserably. But by the end of the video, you know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I'm going to steal that idea, and I'm going to reach out to him and ask him if he'll just do a little segment trying to say my name.
Just
see if he can do it.
Shoot on their phones or something and say, try to say your name, especially people that don't know how to.
Exactly.
When I saw your name first, I thought it was Hodge Nasowitz or something like that.
It could be. I mean, I only say it the way I say it because that's what I was told. What if my parents it was just a mean joke, generations long.
Well, I think it's great. You're keeping it, you're using it, and it's like Schwarzenegger. People laughed when they said he's going to keep his name.
They did? At him?
Well, actually, they laughed behind his back. But yeah, look, once people learned it, they never forgot it.
Right. I did think there's been a couple times where I was putting a record out. One time I was working with a really wonderful publicist in Minneapolis, and she encouraged me to consider, do you want to change your name? Because now's the time.
Can you share what your middle name is?
John.
Ted John doesn't sound right.
No. Ted's not even a great name either.
Theodore John. Oh boy, that has some.
Theodore John? Oh.
Theodore John has some flair to it.
Johnny Theo. When I was in high school, I grew up in the 80s, so we were, hair metal, except for I had a mullet, but some mullet metal. And we all came up with stage names because we wanted to sound cool. And mine was TJ Hurricane.
Oh.
So I could do that.
Like that. But it sounds like you would do blues then.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I wasn't then. We were mullet rock.
TJ Hurricane, well, rock maybe, but really that sounds blues. You do blues? Do you do blues?
No, I'm pretty.
Well, let's just forget.
Yeah, I'll just stay with Heineschewitz. Video. We're going to do the video. We'll have done the video. You're going to win major awards for that.
We'll have to enter first. I
thought somebody else would take care of that for us. We don't have to do that part.
Yeah, the funny thing about awards is like you have to enter them and you have to pay to enter. And then if you win, you have to pay for the trophy. They don't give it to you. It's like if you win it, you have to buy the Emmy. It's like, really?
Oh my gosh. However, what if we put the Emmy on eBay or something, and like we paid whatever they charge us and we mark it up?
That's a thought. Yeah.
It would probably lose. Like we would end up paying somebody to take it. And, we'll make paper mache Emmys. And
that, it's a thought that counts.
Exactly. Yeah. I do have some questions for you, Dave. And I got to take notes on one of these. So I've been asking everybody some questions, and this one I've asked every single person.
Save the best one for last because we want a big finish, right? You got to have a big finish.
I will save the best one for last, and it is the best.
All right.
Favorite song of all time?
Oh, wow. Wow, you should have warned me on that one. I would say it changes all the time, but I would say Vampires by Jason Isbell.
Ah, I love that song, yeah.
That's amazing.
Make it a little playlist of all the favorites.
The one I used in my wedding video, I loved at the time. It was Randy Travis, Forever and Ever, Amen.
Oh, I'm gonna love you forever. Is that song?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You get two. Because you're Dave Dennison. You get two favorite songs of all time. I
guess I always think of what I'm listening to now and Vampires, anything by Jason Isbell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think he's the greatest songwriter of our time. I mean, I think we lost John Prine. It was arguable that John Prine was the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But Jason Isbell is definitely the greatest one alive today, I think.
You could be true. You could be true. That's not even a sentence. You could be right. You could be true. You could be true. I'll keep it in because I sound stupid. Whenever I say dumb things, it becomes latest. People would say hip and trendy, and I could never say that. It would always come out trip and hendy. So trip and hendy.
There's a band name for you.
That's how you pronounce my name in certain countries. Here's another question for you. If you were to come back as a musical genre, what genre would it be and why? So if you were to die, and this is the way karma works, you come back as a musical genre.
Yeah.
What genre would it be and why?
You mean you mean am I?
Yeah.
I'm a performer in that genre, or
No, you're literally that genre.
Oh, Americana, no doubt.
Americana, and why?
Because to me, Americana is the truest, most down-to-earth, most real music genre there is. I mean, and it encompasses so many different things. I mean, it can be blues, it can be country, it can be folk. Americana is a pretty wide swath, but that's kind of what I am. I like all kinds of music. And it seems like the Americana artists, if what they have in common is they don't care about, they don't have to go completely commercial. Everybody wants to make money, but they're not going to sell their soul for their art.
I've never been a huge fan of like genre terms.
Mm-hmm.
There's constantly new ones, and Americana is like the only one when you hear that word, it just sounds pure.
Yeah.
Like, and it fits so well because that's exactly what's so wonderful about that is, yeah, you're right. There's a pretty diverse amount of music that can fit into that, but it's always going to be like kind of a pure.
Yeah, there's just a genuineness to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't that, it would be something like if I had to create something, it would be post-trapo or something like that. I don't know what that is, but it just sounds cool. So maybe post-trapo would be I would come back with.
Is that TRAUPO?
Yeah, I guess maybe that's a John Cage meets Bob Marley or something like that.
You are you're a definer of things, Dave Dennison.
That will be on my tombstone. I love that.
Here lies Dave Dennison, definer of things. You're welcome. I will chisel it.
Yes, he's
That's
a fan.
I'm going to use my fist to chisel it.
Careful. Do that. He was a fan of definer things in life. Yes.
Ah, yes.
I think everybody's tuned out by now.
Okay. Beer. Is it really what's for dinner?
Wow. It's an after dinner thing. Yeah. It doesn't always go well with food.
I love it with food.
Yeah, usually.
I pair it like wine. You know, people pair wine with.
Sure.
And I don't know how to do that. I'm really wine ignorant, but I like to pair beer. There's certain beers like, oh, this will go with a stout, or oh, this will go with a sour, or this will go with even an IPA. I'm not, I don't really love IPAs so much, but there are certain certain foods that, this calls for an IPA.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure I'm right in what I do, but I do love it with food.
Do you like sours?
I do.
It's kind of like, I guess, kombucha for me. It took a little getting used to. It was like maybe that little freshly threw up in your mouth a little bit thing.
Maybe it's from younger days.
Yeah.
Been there. I've been there. I played a gig down in Winona, and their brewery down there, Island City, they had beer and donut pairing.
Boy.
Yeah, strange.
They weren't
fascinating.
They weren't pulling in a lot of the diabetics in town, were they?
No, I would imagine not. Here's the thing: I was on I would still have beer, but I wasn't doing any sugar. So all these donuts, so I played the whole 3 hours just like staring at this table of donuts, and the girl who booked me asked me a couple times, "You sure you don't want one?" And I'm like, and I love sugar. I love sugar so much.
I do, unfortunately. And last weekend, I got a shipment of cookies from New York that were from a company called My Cookie Dealer. And they're like, kid you not, they're like that thick. And you break them in half, and they're filled with like chocolate chunks or Reese's Pieces or whatever. And they're just decadent.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Of course, you can't buy just one. You got to buy like 10 of them with shipment. So my wife and I we were just sugar poisoned last weekend.
Self-control goes out the window for me with that stuff, yeah. So what else do you have going on, Dave? You're making my video. You're going to make from there
I don't know.
Several other videos.
I'm retired. I'm trying to learn how to be retired.
How's that going?
It's weird.
Are you a relaxer or are you a doer?
I'm a relaxer, and that's the problem. If I was a doer, I'd be getting something done, but I'm not I need to learn to use my time more efficiently. So, but then, with the pandemic, it's a really bad time to retire. The things I maybe could do,
can't do,
hesitant to do, or can't do. Yeah.
Take a lot of naps.
Well, yeah, that happens. Yeah,
I would not mind that.
So, but I want to, I want to stay creative. I want the shows to start again. The shows will be wonderful, and that's what I kind of hope to sink my teeth into retirement. But either way, the videos now, the only time I'm going to do a video is if it's something that brings me joy.
Sure.
And of course, doing your video just for show brings me joy.
We'll see about that. Yeah, I appreciate you, Dave. This This has been a lot of fun, and I'm so. I didn't mention that, but I've been out of the music industry. I don't know the right term, scene, for so many years. So I'm really kind of relatively unknown. The only reason people might know me is because I put their song on a playlist, or because my name is so freakishly weird and long. So I remember I came out here and I reached out to you because you had this house concert venue. I'm thinking, I could do a house. I could play in someone's living room. I had no idea what it was, and a lot of people don't reply. And I shouldn't say this because now everybody will hit you up, but you did, and I think you had said, "Well, we're booked up." I think I don't know why you did. We connected, and it was like, "Well, let's get coffee," and you just were willing to talk with me, and I thought that was just really cool. I just don't know that that's always that common for people to be willing to just hang out and be human. And you've always been that way with me. I really appreciate that about you.
Yeah, well, mutual. I appreciate doing that. That was a lot of fun, and I love getting to know musicians like you and everybody else. I'm a frustrated musician myself. I mean, like I said, I was years ago, but it was kind of like beer. I used to make beer. Then I figured people do it better than I. There's actual companies that make it better than I.
Yeah, sure.
And music was like that. I was like, I tried the music thing, and I just wasn't as good at it as I would have liked. So you guys need me. You need us appreciators. You're appreciators. There are a lot of us out there that we just want to consume everything you guys make. So keep it up.
Thanks. And we are going to form the band that never actually does anything. We'll just talk about it. The Hall & Oates thing. So
It wasn't much to look at, but it had a heart of gold.
Oh yeah.
We will do that. Private Eyes. We're not going to sing ever. Yep. Someday, especially now that I have this, and if you do that, we're set. Our mustaches, just get in there close, and we'll get a snapshot of this. See that? Looks good. Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ted.
He wasn't much to look at, but he had a heart of gold. He'd give the shirt off his back just to keep you from being cold. He didn't live perfect, but he tried to live